Shabbat Shalom. When I was in high school, I spent a year where I studied 2 years, studied very much in depth the Holocaust, and specifically studied a lot about Nazi propaganda. And one of the parts that just struck me was the whole element of that propaganda that was about the Jewish people as the wandering Jew. There's all these images, films about it, right? Who had no home and they were just spreading all over the world, spreading our effect around the world. And it struck a nerve on me, partly because at that point in my life I lived in many places around the world. And I felt a little bit like that. And I knew we had a Jewish home. I was born in Israel. I knew that the Jewish people were no longer homeless. But somehow I felt that, the wandering Jew is just a part of what it means to be Jewish. And of course in a very different way than the twisted way that the Nazis were trying to portray it. But somehow that wandering is part of who we are. Part of always being in motion, always seeking. We have this tradition of always going to the promised land, which is of course a physical land, the land of Israel. But for thousands of years it was also just a spiritual place. Rabbi Nachman says wherever you're walking, you're always walking to the land of Israel. They call it the higher Israel. So there's just a beauty and knowledge also that was picked up from all of that wandering through millennia of exile. And sometimes when we wander, it's done in physical miles. And sometimes when we wander, it's done in mind miles, and heart miles, and in soul miles. Where we don't actually leave the place where we are. As we all try and go a few more steps in our road to truth, to justice, to peace. And it's not such a bad thing to be wandering. Because as the Jewish people, we did bring our effect wherever we did in a positive way too. And we had this tradition, the Shekhinah went with us. Wherever we were, the Shekhinah went with us. It brought a little piece of the Jewish people and our values. We brought God. And in fact, the very first Jew, Avraham, is known as Avraham HaIvri. Abraham in Hebrew, the verb la'avov, to cross over, to go, the journey. He left everything he knew to go on that same journey of discovery. Discover new life and new sights. He brought the truth about God as he saw it, and he exposed untruth. And he discovered a lot of beautiful things. This is still what we do. We try and bring new things wherever we are. And on the way to all those challenging times we've had over thousands of years, we've also seen a lot of beautiful sights and picked up a lot of beautiful sounds. And our wandering, whether it's been inner or outer miles, inner miles or outer miles, has brought a lot of good things to all those in our world who seek goodness, all those in our world who want peace, for the betterment of humanity. I think because maybe through all of it we understood that part of being a human being is that sense of wandering as we try and find our true home. And in Kabbalat, human beings ourselves were called Haholchim, we're called the people who wander. Just to be a human being means we're always seeking something out of that tension of life. As the rabbinic tradition says, on one hand we have our good side, and on the other side we have our not so good side. And within the friction of the two, we just end up journeying and experiencing things, learning, evolving, finding our way. Because it's good to wander, but it's also good to find our way home, which is why we're wandering. Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach says in our Parsha, which is all about the priests, and we're supposed to be a nation of priests. What does it mean to be a priest? It means we're compelled to grow, and through that growth to teach others, to heal the world, to help the needy, to bring healing where there is a need of repair, to be like Abraham and Sarah, who felt compelled to journey to discover new things. So when I was in rabbinical school, we had a class where we were asked to come up with a ritual that did not exist. And the ritual that I came up with, which did not exist, was a ritual. At the time I was in my early 30s, how to say goodbye to graduating students when they're leaving the home for the first time. And so the way I imagined it, I thought you would be in the doorway of your house before you get in the car, or whatever it is. You have a little bag where you give them zuzah, maybe a chumash and some other things. And I thought you would blow the shofar. It's kind of like a sign of like something really momentous is about to happen here. Not sure how much that makes sense, but it is something very momentous that happens through a whole period of time. Uh, through all those endless applications to universities, through all those years in religious school, through those long months preparing to that long process. And then what happens, and maybe the ritual is even more for the parents and for their children. You blow the shofar and you say, wow, there's a big change here. One block of energy in our house is suddenly not going to be there in the same way as it was before. And that's a big change. It really is a life cycle moment. And so to the graduating students, you're about to wander into the world, because this is what we do. We believe it's part of life. And spread everything you're about, where you come from, absorb new things, bring Jewish values, expand values. It's good to wander, but it is good to come home. And I know you're going to come home because of vacation, and you're going to come home to Europe. So we hope you come home a little bit to this home too, to this home, whenever you can, because along that journey, there's those moments where the road becomes a little bit uneven and you need to refresh, and this can be a place for that. And I had a graduate from many years ago who came just a few weeks ago for that purpose. But we'll be here for you, whatever happens. We're here for you if you want to come home to this other home. And we hope that as you experience all those things, that some of what you learned here will help you cross over, like Abraham and Sarah, as all of us, as we face all the rivers of life, we face all the challenges and wonderful opportunities. We try and grow, become even better versions of who we are, and fulfill our mission, bring truth and justice and peace into our broken world. Shabbat Shalom.